The message buzzed while I was standing at the altar, fingers locked together so tightly my ring cut into my skin. Don't expect anyone. I reread it once, twice. Then I looked up and saw my side of the aisle empty. No cousins, no uncles, no childhood friends, just rows of polished wood and silence pretending to be dignity. I smiled anyway. I always smile when something breaks. 10 minutes later, while the officiant adjusted his mic, my phone vibrated again. A group photo. All of them, barefoot, laughing. Lei necklaces, a private beach in Hawaii. Caption, family forever. That's when I sent one text back. Perfect timing. They thought it was cruelty. It was consent. I wasn't always the daughter you abandon. I used to be the investment. I remember my mother crying when I got my first promotion, telling everyone she raised me to be strong. I remember my brother borrowing money he never paid back, my aunt moving into my condo temporarily. I remember how love in my family always arrived with invoices. And still, I invited them all to my wedding. Still, I paid for flights, hotels, dresses, because some part of me believed loyalty could be bought if I paid enough. The betrayal didn't arrive loudly. It never does. It arrived as delays. We might be late. Something came up. Then silence. When the text came, it wasn't a shock. It was confirmation. They didn't just skip my wedding. They chose a vacation over me. And they chose it together. 3 months earlier, I'd noticed the shift. Group chats that went quiet when I joined. Side conversations that stopped when I entered rooms. My mother suddenly interested in my finances again. Just curious, she said. Curiosity has a sound. It clicks. So I checked. Not their phones, not their emails. I checked the paperwork. The house in my name that my mother lived in, still in my name. The business account I'd added my brother to. Admin access, irrevocable. The trust I set up for family emergencies. Sole controller met. I didn't confront anyone. I don't believe in warnings. I believe in timing. The night of my wedding, after the cake was cut and the sympathy hugs ended, I went home alone. I took off my dress. I poured a glass of water. Then I opened my laptop. By morning, the house was no longer theirs. By noon, the business accounts were locked. By sunset, the trust was dissolved. Everything legal, everything clean, every signature already mine. I didn't take what wasn't mine. I took back what I'd been lending under the wrong name. 3 days later, my mother was at my door, screaming. I watched her through the peephole. First disheveled, phone glued to her ear. Panic doesn't suit her. It exposes the seams. I opened the door slowly. Coffee mug warm in my hand. She didn't ask how I was. She asked what I'd done. I took a sip, let the silence stretch. Then I said, "You chose family forever. I just made it official." She yelled. She cried. She accused. I listened like a stranger. My brother showed up an hour later, then my aunt, then messages, missed calls, threats dressed as apologies. They all wanted to know who took their place, who replaced them. I didn't answer then. That night, I slept better than I had in years, because betrayal loses its power once you stop negotiating with it. A week later, I met my husband's parents for dinner. They weren't flashy, they weren't loud. They asked questions and waited for answers when I spoke. They listened when I thanked them. They looked surprised. At the end of the night, his father raised a glass and said, "Family is who shows up." I didn't cry. I don't cry at clarity. The final message I sent my mother was short. You asked who took your place. I attached a photo. Not of a beach, not of a party, just a quiet dinner table, hands reaching for each other. No filters, no caption. Then I blocked her. I used to think revenge was loud. It isn't. It isn't. It's precise. It's patient. It's knowing when to smile at the altar and when to empty the accounts. They wanted family forever. They got exactly what they deserved. And me? I finally walked down the aisle, just not with them beside me.